So I'm gonna go over how I took 3 trades today. Obviously it's beginning of December. Market's a little bit wishy-washy, but I'm honestly learned within being, you know, I would say more of a consistent and a persistent trader that, you don't have to only trade at 9:30. I'll put it to you like that. I see a lot of people give up as soon as 11 o'clock hits. I've realistically kind of made this new mentality that I'm gonna wait until my trade plays out, and if it doesn't play out, it doesn't play out. Obviously, I'm still in the 100K series, so it's not like I'm doing anything different. It's just the fact of lately I have had a different mentality. Best way to put it as being a trader. I've honestly not wanted to post, if I'm very honest. I've honestly wanted to just kind of take a break, and it's nothing personal against my channel. It's nothing personal against anything, but mentally, I have really wanted to just take a break from all this. I guess more or less, like just my world outside of this has been a little bit. I've been more distracted. I put it to you like that, but I've also been a better trader. Kind of doesn't make sense, but I'll just go over how I lost $2,000 today, taking 3 trades. First trade, I'll kind of go over it really quick. Let's go back into the hour. Previous to 9:30 hourly, we had a high that was refused to get taken out, but we ended up breaking structure to the downside. We go ahead and draw down to the 5 minute. 5 minute high and low previous to 9:30. As you can see, price never came back up to this high, and this low obviously continued to be broke to the downside. With this first trade that I took, I knew this wasn't a valid trade, but I took it anyway just to kind of just see. I look at it like this: December, you're kind of just going to get anything, because keep mentioning this in my previous videos that December was very consolidating. If a move happens, it happens. I just wanted to see how this was going to play out, but I knew this wasn't a valid trade. Obviously, I want to see a 5 minute liquidity sweep and a 5 minute break structure. But what I did was I got a 5 minute liquidity sweep and I drew down to the 1 minute to see my breaker structure. That also led with a fair value gap retest. So as you can see, we get the sweep, we get the fair value gap, and we get the retest. So, did we get it? Did we even get a breaker structure? No, we did not. But price came close to breaking this high. And sometimes you'll get a trade where price don't break high, but price gets really, really close to high, retests, and then it'll proceed in the direction of a reversal. In this scenario, it didn't. So we get the retest. I enter off of the valid rejection. Price ends up, next 2 candles taking me out. So I was like, it is what it is. I wasn't mad. This is where, I'll say this. If you can be a trader and understand why you lost, you'll become an even better trader. Now, if you lose trades and it's not even like affecting you emotionally, you're becoming an even better trader. Now, what I mean by that is there's nothing wrong with having emotions. I can't stand the people that say, oh, dude, relax on the emotions, dude. Oh, like you shouldn't be an emotional trader. It's different when you're trading emotionally, and it's different when you trade and have emotions. Because at the end of the day, we all have emotions. Do not trade emotionally because you will obviously take chances without having like the actual risk management or just a strategy involved. But so on and so on. As you can see, we ended up creating another liquidity sweep. We took out all of this liquidity to the left side. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but we ended up creating a burger structure and we had an inverse for value gap. Now, this was not a perfect retest, but I still took it anyway just because of my other confluences. We got the sweep, we got the burger structure, and we got the retest. Now, what failed me obviously was the retest. I entered the moment that this candle created this wick, which obviously wasn't necessarily the best. The moment I entered, I would say we was in this trade for about 20 minutes. Ended up getting swept. There we go. Wasn't in it for very much long, and the profits literally got taken out in the negative. So I was like, oh, okay. Now we're down 1,400 for the day. Now this is the part that it didn't bother me until my take profit was hit. I tell my buddy, and I let him know. I took a screenshot and I said, hey, I'm about to get in this trade, and I'm only showing you this. I'm not telling you to enter. Oh, this one hurt. We had a liquidity sweep We had a breaker structure and we had an inverse. I entered. I didn't enter back off here. Oh, I did. I entered after we got a correct body break outside of the zone, and then we enter off of the retest. So this was my entry. I put my stop loss under the previous low, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought I was secured the moment that we did not get taken out right here. This was like, oh, I was gonna move my stop loss right here. Something was telling me to bring my stop loss down here, but I was like, honestly, I don't want to risk $1,100 on top of what I've already lost. That would have been $2,500 for the day, if that would have been the case. But since I didn't listen to my gut, we got swept, and I could have entered again. And I said, nah, you know what? I'm not gonna overtrade. I am in my second phase of my evaluation. I mean, of my 100K funded fat challenge. I cannot speak. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go for another trade. I literally told my boy, I said, watch this go in my favor. I let my phone cut off. I'm saying, like, I took trade locker down, and 5 o'clock hits, and I'm like, I want to see where this trade went. I would have won 20. No, 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 no. I would have won $28,000. No, $2,800 just off this trade. So that means that I would have got back the money that I had lost, which was 1,400. I would have also profited 1,400. So that would have been another green day. Right now, all I need in my challenge is minimum trading days. And if anybody knows what that is, I'm still trying to understand it. But minimum trading days to me is you have to hit a certain amount of a certain percentage. I want to say in your account, or just hit a certain percentage, because you can't just, it can't be a minimum trading day and you just win $100. It has to be like you have to profit at least, I want to say $500 at least. But I'm only allowing myself to try to go for at least 1,000, because I don't want to sit here and only target for $100 and then it just not register as a yes. So my minimum trading days is basically $1,000. And for people that understand what that is, it's basically just whenever you're in front of a challenge, some of them are required for you to have a consistency rule. Consistency rules are just basically saying that we're not just going to give you this account just because you basically pass your profit target in just 2 days. It's not fair to them for them to just give you 100K whenever you just got a lucky trade. So consistency rules, it kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, but it shows that you're actually a real trader. It shows that you actually can be consistent. I will say this: I take a lot of losses, but my wins, I mean, are huge. Now, the reason I take a lot of losses is because I just don't care to lose. Losing does nothing but encourage me to go even more. I promise you, like with this $2,000 loss, I'm not defeated. If anything, I'm like, well, tomorrow I'm gonna make like $2,000 or $3,000 back. Have a green day, and because the one thing I'm waiting for is to go to the lava camp. You think I'm gonna be sitting here risking 3 trades of losing $2,000? Maybe, but do I want to? Am I gonna be that careless? I don't think so. So, with this being said, it's just a learning curve. You live and you learn, and it doesn't bother me the fact that I already know I'm where I want to be in life. I'm just this close. Some of you guys need to realize that it's not about your losses. It's about, how do you handle your losses? It's about how do you handle when a challenge comes your way? How do how do you adapt? Do you self-reflect? Do you consider the fact that you may be wrong? Do you consider the fact that you need help? Are you open-minded? Question yourself some of these things. And also question your relationship with God, because sometimes I'm sitting here trading and I'm like, God, why do I feel empty? And the answer he gave me today was because he said, you feel empty because I've gotten rid of majority of things that you're used to, regardless if it was good, or regardless if I thought it was good for me or if it was just bad for me. And I was like, dang God, no wonder I've been so peaceful, but I've been so bored. All my bad habits just feel like they've left me. And now I'm ready for growth. And now I have room and space on the inside for growth. So it's very shocking because, sometimes I question myself, like, oh, is that really God? Is that really God? When God puts something really, really good in your mind, and God puts something really, really good in your heart, it's God. Just like I said, because ain't nothing good in us. And am I saying that as in everybody's just dirty and everybody's filthy? No, all I'm saying is anything good comes from God. anything that you think was you, think again, it was God. Now obviously we can sit here and think about things, but it's because we got wisdom from God. So at the end of the day, it all is glory to Him. Long story short. But we're getting through this evaluation phase. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm I'm basically where I want to be. And I just got to be disciplined. I got to be consistent, even when I don't feel like it. Because it's not in me right now to make these videos. It's not in me right now to keep, staying persistent, stay focused with this stuff. But I have to build a passion for this again because I lost it. I'm not gonna lie, I really did. But I'm grateful. I'm truly blessed, and we're gonna make another. We're gonna go through this another day. In Jesus' name, Amen. Love you guys. Like and subscribe, and share with a friend. Do that for me.